Hi, and welcome back to Firetrail's Chart of the Week. We've got a really special chart of the week for you at the moment, and that's because at Firetrail we think there's a really big opportunity in small caps at the moment. So we've got a special guest, Carter Ryan, who is an analyst on the Small Caps Fund. Hey Carter, how are you going?
Good, thanks for having me, Chris.
Now before Carter goes into her top pick out of small caps, I want to talk you through some recent research we've done at Firetrail on why we think now is a really great time to allocate to small caps. The first thing is, small caps through history have significantly outperformed coming out of an economic slowdown. My chart here shows every economic slowdown we've had in the last 20 years, and there's been 9 of them. And in the 18 months following every slowdown, the median active small cap manager has outperformed the ASX 100 and the ASX Small Ordinaries significantly. If we look at the average over those 9 slowdowns, you can see that the median active small cap manager delivered 37% on average in the recovery, nearly double the ASX 100 return of only 20%. Now, we've seen an economic slowdown here in Australia and globally at the moment. What we don't know is when that's going to turn, but what we do know is that share markets precede the economy. So the turn is going to happen in share markets before we see the economic data improve. The second thing is, after 18 months of underperformance for small caps, now really represents a really significant valuation opportunity. This pink line here just shows small caps' historical valuation relative to large caps, and you can see it's sitting pretty significantly below average at the moment. That's despite a much stronger earnings outlook over the next 3 years. So Small Ords have a 3-year forecast compound annual growth rate of earnings of 17% per year. Compare that to the ASX 100 of only 1%. So we believe now represents a very rare valuation opportunity, considering the significant growth outlook relative to large caps over the next 3 years for small caps. Thirdly, there's significant tailwinds coming out of the woodwork now. So the first one we're seeing is that private equity and corporates are capitalizing on these undervalued small caps. And on the left there, you can see 2 out of 6 companies in the small caps fund which have been under takeover this year. First one's Estia, and the second one is Silk Laser, both under takeover at 40+% premiums to their listed share prices. And we think that as long as these small caps with attractive assets remain undervalued, private equity is swooping in and deploying record amounts of dry powder that they have sitting in their accounts at the moment. Second thing, and significantly, is that institutional investors are really zeroing in on small caps right now. The Australian Future Fund announced it was allocating to small caps for the first time in the last few months. And at Firetrail, we've seen significant investor interest from super funds asking us about small cap capacity. And this kind of capital entering the market is big for small caps. Because they're generally more illiquid than large caps, flows into them has an outsized effect on their share prices. Thirdly, and lastly, the IPO pipeline is starting to build, and we're seeing early signs that IPO activity is coming back. IPOs and placements are mostly concentrated in the small cap market, and these opportunities have been a significant alpha generator for the Firetrail Small Caps Fund over time. And so putting that all together, we think that now is a really golden opportunity to invest in small caps, but you have to be active. The median active small cap manager outperforms significantly over time. You got to do the work like Carter. Carter, tell us about a good opportunity that you're seeing in the market at the moment.
Yeah, Chris, well, Australia's housing market is in crisis, and it's never been so difficult to find affordable housing. And this is because we've been contending with the perfect storm of high interest and inflation rates, low vacancy rates, and returning migration. And you can see this on my chart from a recent national housing report, which shows that over 30% of Australians are experiencing rental stress. Now, rental stress is when you pay more than 30% of your income on rent. And you can see that New South Wales is leading the way with nearly 35% of the population considered to be in rental stress. And unfortunately, Chris, this doesn't look like it's a problem that's solving itself in the near term. So one of the key holdings in the Small Companies Fund is Aspen Group. Now, Aspen manages and develops affordable accommodation across retirement, residential and park communities. And the average rent across their portfolio is currently $275 per week. Now, with the government forecasting over a shortfall of over 100,000 affordable houses over the next 5 years, we believe Aspen is really well placed and will play an important role in helping to close that gap. And it's something that we think the market is missing about Aspen's role and ability to grow into the future.
Sounds like a big opportunity in Aspen and a big opportunity in small caps.
Absolutely.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.